Hey there, everybody. So I know it's been a while since I did my last video. It's been like, what, 2, 3 weeks or something? I'm not sure. But now I'll go ahead and explain a little bit why I didn't make the video is because it was finals week and I was busy studying and stuff. And then after that, we had spring break and I went home. Oh, so much stuff going on. So, looking at all of my stuff, I'm pretty sure I passed most of everything. I got the sad news that I didn't pass the basic instrument ground school, which is kind of a mixed blessing because, for one thing, I didn't pass. Two, I gotta do it all over again. And three, I gotta wait until the next quarter in order to take that class again. Oh, and four, now I'm paying for it because my mom was like, if you fail any classes, then you're going to be paying for the, paying for that to take the classes again. So, yeah. But that does give me, however, that does give me less classes I gotta do, less studying I gotta do because I can't take the advanced instrument course. And then I also have 3 months to get busy studying and stuff for the basic instrument and get all that knowledge in there because that was my problem. I couldn't really remember. It was hard to keep remember all the stuff and keep all the facts straight and stuff because there's just so little details and stuff. You mess those up, you mess up the your answers on the quizzes and stuff. So now actually getting to the airport and coming back from the airport, oh boy, that's all kind of a jumbled up mess. So at first I was going to just drive to a hotel, park my car there, get a shuttle to the airport, and then go home. And when I came back, I would basically call them and they'd bring the shuttle back, and I'd take it to the hotel, get my car, go back home. That was the original plan. But then I was talking to one of the other students, and he asked me if I had someone to take me to and from the airport, and I told him that I didn't. I told him I was just going to drive there and park my car and all that. And so then he was like, "Well, I could possibly drive you up there," but he didn't know if he could take me back. So he told me he would let me know, depending on what time I was going to be getting back, on my flight. And anyway, so then he talked to my flight instructor, and so then it was worked out that she was going to take me to the airport, and then he would come and get me from the airport. But then my plans changed again when I found out that my roommate was being taken to an airport that was nearby that airport by another student. And so she called me and she was just like, "Hey, do you maybe want to just ride with us?" And then, Crystal doesn't have to get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff. And so then I was like, okay. So I went to the airport and I had to spend the night there because it was the day before. So yeah, I got there at about like 8 that night and then boarded the plane at about probably about 8 that morning. 8 the next morning, I mean. So yeah, that was all crazy stuff going on there. And then when I got home, it was the first day I got down there, it was nice and sunny and warm, but then the rest of the days it was cloudy and rainy and just cold. I mean seriously, come on. Why? I mean if it's going to be cold, all right? If it's going to be cold, then it needs to be at least freezing and there needs to be snow so that there can be fun, okay? It's no fun when it's just cold and wet. Also wet. But I had fun nevertheless. I did stuff like target practice and watching the original Star Wars trilogy in reverse order. So yeah, that was all fun, all lots of fun. And then I came back, and this time on the way back, on the plane ride, I didn't have an annoying little kid kicking uh, kicking the seat behind me. So that was nice because I had that the first time. Some kid obsessed with his Rubik's Cube thing, and oh, he would not shut up and he would not stop kicking my seat. Oh, it was so annoying. But it was nice. This time I had an old woman sitting behind me, so she wasn't kicking the seat. So that's all well and good. And then when I got back, I actually didn't go straight home. No, we actually we the one student we met up with his parents and then went to Applebee's and had supper. And so it was like I think 1 in the morning before I finally got back home. So yeah, that was kind of a long night, and I slept. I don't know how long. I slept a long while. Uh, but uh, but yeah, and then uh, the next day, I decided that I wanted to go to Hobby Lobby because uh, I brought some stuff back with me back here. Two of them being these knives. And as you can see with this one, this is just a duct tape sheath I made a long time ago, and it's not all that good. So I wanted to go to Hobby Lobby and buy some leather to make some sheaths for these. And so I looked up where there's Hobby Lobby in Florida, and oh hey, there's one right over in the next town over in Gainesville. And so I was like, okay, I'll get directions and I'll go. So I went, and then I made a wrong turn somewhere, and then I drove all over Gainesville, and then somehow ended up on a highway, like a 4-lane highway, and ended up about 15 miles north of Gainesville. And so I was like, okay, there's a Wendy's. I'm hungry. So I stopped and got something to eat, and then had some guy. They had a tray, right? They had there was like a whole big family, all right, and they were like, okay, well, we're gonna put all your drinks and stuff on this one tray. And so they had 2 trays there, and one they were putting drinks on, and one they put a sandwich on, which I believe was my sandwich. And what does the guy do? He's like, oh, sandwich and this other tray. Put the sandwich on this other tray and take it. And I'm just thinking, what the heck are you doing, dude? That's my sandwich. I didn't say anything because, you know, he's already handled the sandwich. I don't want it anymore. So, yeah, I had to wait a long while they remade my sandwich and stuff. So, yeah. And plus, I wasn't really sure if that was my sandwich or not, but, by the time I was sure it was, he had already opened it and looked at it and stuff and, like, opened the bun to see what the heck it was and stuff, and so I didn't want that sandwich. So, yeah. So stressful. And then after that, I was just like, okay, I can go down this way, go to Gainesville, and then head back to Keystone. And I was like, I'm going to forget about going to Hobby Lobby today because I'll just get myself more lost and use a lot more gas. Whew. And then that was so stressful. And then, pretty much, I spent like the rest of the day on my roommate's PS4 playing Skyrim. So, yeah. So that's pretty much what's been going on the past few days, weeks, whatever amount of time stuff. So, I don't know if I've mentioned what classes I have, but I'll go ahead and refresh anyone who has forgotten. I have a communications class, a finance and budgeting class, a theology class, and aviation math. And I would have advanced instruments, but like I said before, I didn't pass basic, so I can't take advanced instrument. So yeah, I've just got 4 classes, and one of them meets twice a week. So I've got 3 classes to go to on Tuesday and 2 classes to go to on Thursday. Oh, and one more thing, some people might find interesting. I'm going to start playing violin at the church here. I think they've been wanting me to start playing with them for a little while, but I finally talked to the I guess music director person, the person who's in charge of all this stuff. So yeah, that's one thing I'll be doing. And there's also one little bit of confusion that still hasn't been quite cleared up for me, anyway. The finance and budgeting class. So at first, on the little sheet paper, it said it was at 6 a.m. But then Tim, the president of the college, told us it was at 6 p.m. And then he penciled it in p.m. And then they printed out a new sheet of paper and it said a.m. And so we're like, well, what is it, Tim? Is it a.m. or p.m.? And so then he told us that it was p.m. Again, told us it's definitely p.m. And Austin, he's had that teacher before, and he says there's absolutely no way he would be teaching at 6 a.m. But then I've heard some other people say no, it's a.m. because they called the teacher's wife or something, and she said it was a.m. But here's the thing. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Can you really trust that? Can you really trust that the teacher's wife is actually going to know for sure that it is a.m.? I mean, I'm sure she'd probably know some stuff, but yeah, I don't know. If it's a.m., then I'm going to miss the first class because I'm just going to take the word of Tim and Austin and hope that it is p.m. because honestly, that makes a whole lot more sense for it to be p.m. I mean, seriously, I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, if I want to do, all the stuff I like to do in the morning, to have time for all that and, get prepared and everything. So, yeah, it makes more sense that it's at p.m. Our brains are actually awake and stuff. I mean, seriously, talking about finance and budgeting and math and stuff at 6 in the morning? No, I don't think they're going to do that. I hope they're not going to do that. Okay. So, I guess from here on, I will then just continue my normal schedule of doing videos, and I will see y'all next week.